Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to make your own steadicam for cheaper than you would buy one. There are a lot of uses for a steadicam or a gimbal or something like that if you're into filming, if you're doing, particularly story shots where you're following people and stuff like that. And as you know, if you followed me for a while, not in the same way, I don't do that kind of stuff. But what I do is the occasional shot of a finished paint job or an in-progress piece of work or something like that, where you'll notice I try and do a pan, and fairly frequently it's not that good. It's pretty shaky. I'm not stellar at it. I don't have the professional equipment for it. Now I do plan on purchasing a Steadicam, but I figured this is a good opportunity for me to make one and show you how I'm going to do that. So the parts for this are pretty straightforward. We're going to be making it out of 1-inch pipe, threaded. It's plumbing pipe. It's from a plumbing outfitter. And you can use a smaller one. 1 inch is pretty heavy, pretty thick. I figured having a little more weight on there would help it stay steady. But we'll test that theory. You can see how I do it. And if you think you want something a little lighter, that's an option. What I've got here is a 30-inch piece. This is going to form the main body of the camera, the Steadicam rather. I also have a T joint. This one's 1 inch on all 3 sides. I've got a 4-inch piece to create my space at the top, and a 12-inch piece to form something akin to a handle to help me control it. You're also going to want a couple of floor flanges. They screw on, and a 1/4-inch bolt or machine screw that'll go into the bottom of your camera. Now it doesn't get much easier than this to begin with. You're just going to take your T, put your 12-inch piece sticking out horizontally, so it's the one that doesn't line up with the through section, because that's your handle. Then out one end, you're going to have the 4-inch piece to hold the top. That's where your camera is going to end up going. And out the bottom, your 30-inch piece. See? There we go. Now, depending on the weight you're using and the weight your camera is, you can put weights over this bottom piece and then screw one of the flanges in to hold them. Another alternative is to take this flange and screw it, an instrument. Anyway, another alternative is to take this flange and screw it to a piece of wood if you need the weights counterbalanced at all, and then put the weights on there. Now we're at the top, and we need something to hold the camera. So the way that this is going to work, we're going to take our flange and we're going to screw it on here after. But first we're going to attach the flange to a piece of wood, and we're going to run that 1/4-inch machine screw or bolt through the piece of wood, and that's what's going to be able to hold the camera. Alright guys, so that is the construction aspect of this done. Again, you can add weights on the bottom if they're necessary. In this case, this thing seems to balance pretty well. It leans a bit, but I'm trying to compensate for the weight of the camera, so we'll see how that goes on there. And then, let's give this a try. What I'm going to do is take the camera off of there. Unfortunately, I don't have my other one here to film this process, so to speak, but I'm going to take that off of there, attach it on here, and then we're going to try it, see if we can get some steady footage of a guitar that I'm actually about to strip the paint job off. So let's get a look at that paint job before I take it off of there, even though you've already seen it, and we'll see how this thing performs. Well guys, that didn't look too horrible from the viewfinder, but you'll have to let me know what you think. I mean, I can't really tell when I'm filming it. It could maybe use a little bit of extra weight on the bottom just to have it balance a little better. When the camera's on there, it has a tendency to lean forward ever so slightly, and a little bit more weight on the bottom would sort that out. Alternatively, using an even longer pole would kind of fix that a little bit too, I think. But it's not really necessary. I think that this has actually worked out quite well. Another alternative would be to add a small weight here if you're looking to do more of a horizontal shot. For me, a lot of times I'm actually looking down at a product, so it works quite well for me to be holding this at an angle like this and to get that like 30-45 degree downward angle. Anyway, if you're interested in a Steadicam and you can't afford one, this is an alternative. It's not as good, obviously. It doesn't have a gimbal system on the handle, but it still is better than nothing. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you like it, please feel free to give it the thumbs up so that YouTube's more likely to recommend it to other people when they can find it. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.